Welcome back, everyone. The House Ethics Committee voted in favor, as you know, of censuring Congressman Charlie Rangel. 9-1 was the vote for ethics violations. It's the most severe punishment short of expulsion. Here's what Congressman Rangel had to say before the decision.
It would really help, and I don't think it's out of line, if the committee didn't say it before, that you could put in that report, no matter what you agree the sanction should be, that your member was not corrupt and did not seek and did not gain anything personally for the bad conduct that I've had.
So was justice served? Joining me on our political panel this morning in the Ice Palace is Brad O'Leary, publisher of O'Leary Report and author of America's War on Christianity, Jamie Floyd, attorney and legal analyst, and Elise Jordan, former speechwriter for Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. Good morning, panel, and thank you so much for obliging us to come out to the Ice Palace.
Good morning.
Thanks for welcoming.
So at least we just heard Congressman Rangel. The buzzword to me was, please don't call me corrupt, but instead they said censure. Right or wrong?
I think it's right. I think it's a positive move. Members of Congress should be held to an even higher standard than ordinary citizens. And what kind of message does it send if he doesn't have to be held accountable?
Yeah, but Jamie, if the regular Joe on the street had faced these charges, you're a lawyer, they might have been locked up. Censure, I looked it up. It just means kind of getting a little bit in trouble, like a timeout.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me because, of course, I am born and raised here in New York, grew up with Charlie Rangel. The man's 80 years old. I'm a Democrat, and so is he. But I got to say, I agree with Elise on holding our representatives to a higher standard. Was this high enough? I don't know. It breaks my heart. 20 terms of service, and this is how it ends for Charlie Rangel. Legacy. This may be his legacy. I don't know if this was enough, but in the end, this is what we'll remember of Charles Rangel.
But Brad, many Americans are saying he did it to himself.
Well, he did. He's a war hero. He wrote a wonderful book about his experiences in America. He should have quit, and he should have paid his taxes. And the evidence against him is clear. He should have been expelled. And what kind of message do we send to the many employees of the federal government who haven't paid their taxes and don't intend to?
Jamie, would you feel differently if you were a Republican?
No. I think what this raises, though, and your question really goes right to this, can the body police itself? Should there have been, and should we have going forward, independent assessment of congressmen on the right or left, Republicans or Democrats, when they get into trouble? Can they really make a fair assessment of one of their own? This was a bipartisan panel.
Which I think was one of the first things in recent time that showed that both sides came to an agreement on something. But Elise, is it also a support for term limits?
I think that a sense of entitlement does come with public service for that long. And I'm not necessarily in support of term limits, but 40 years, and I think that when you're a career politician like that, you're not really living the life of a normal citizen.
All right. Well, panel, stick around, if you will, in our Ice Palace, because we want to talk about this, a success or a setback, two sides on how the first civilian terror trial will shape the decision to prosecute more terror suspects in civilian courts.